This Logan Paul situation has gotten way messier than people expected.
What Logan Paul is doing is destructive. For starters, I wouldn't be surprised if this is some sort of undisclosed ad for Beckett, which would be illegal, but that aside, his entire purpose with this is to make the anime community a worse place. Think about it, a convention will only make money by creating a safe and fun experience for fans. An artist at that convention will only make money by creating art that shows their love of the series. Studios that create that anime only make money by making that series amazing. Your favorite creator only makes money if they make interesting discussion about that series. It all adds to the community.
IShowSpeed jumped in and called Logan out after Logan showed off his rare PSA-graded One Piece Chapter 1, and the internet instantly started looking at him sideways. Because let's be real, this does not look like some innocent anime fan moment. It looks like a rich influencer walking into another collector space, grabbing one of the rarest pieces in the room and turning the whole thing into a flex. And that is why people are heated.
But then Logan only makes money if he can make collectibles such a status piece that they're impossible to get. Right now, nobody cares about having Shonen Jump magazine. If you've ever held one in your hand, they're pretty awful quality. There's only a handful of people, including myself, that actually collect them. And most people have no clue what's even inside of the magazine. And I'm not against showing people what that is. But with stuff like grading coming into the mix, Logan and all of his rich buddies are gonna dump copious amounts of money to inflate prices and create a bubble, so that they can sell them off as some sort of an investment. And before long, everything interesting is going to be owned by someone who cares nothing about it.
Logan has already done this kind of thing before with Pokemon cards, where he bought the ultra-rare PSA 10 Pikachu Illustrator card for $5.275 million, then later sold it at auction for about $16.5 million. So when fans saw him suddenly posting about high-grade manga, they didn't see passion, they saw a playbook. Buy the rare item, show it to millions, make the market go crazy, and then everybody else is left fighting over inflated prices while Logan sits there looking like he just discovered buried treasure.
What Logan's doing is the equivalent of going to a baseball game to steal a ball from a kid and then turn around and offer to sell it to them for 50 grand. But we speak with our dollar. If nobody in the community gives into this, the bubble will pop and these people will lose money. But if you're one of the few that thinks, oh, I could make a little bit of cash off of this, you're a part of the problem. So my question to you is, what's worth more, connection or cash?
Now, to be fair, calling it straight-up market manipulation is a serious claim, so let's keep it clean. What people are really accusing him of is using his massive platform to push hype into collectibles that already have tiny supply and crazy demand. And with something like One Piece, that reaction is even stronger, because this is not some random series. One Piece is the biggest manga series ever, with over 600 million copies in circulation worldwide, and fans treat the first chapter like a piece of history.
What I've spent a lot of money on that no one knows about until this moment is manga. Japanese comics, the birthplace of some of the biggest IP and the biggest franchises in the world. And I'm an anime fan, a casual anime fan. I know people go crazy, but I love my One Piece, I love my Demon Slayer, my One Punch Man, and Dragon Ball, obviously. And maybe some of you saw on my Instagram, I actually have the most expensive manga of all time.
So when Logan posted, proud owner of the greatest manga in the world in my opinion, One Piece Chapter 1 9.0, second highest grade in existence, population of 3, first canon appearance of Monkey D. Luffy, One Piece is the #1 selling manga in the world with 600 million plus copies sold, people immediately started asking the obvious question, is this love for the story or is this another collectible flip dressed up as fandom? Then Logan doubled down and showed off another monster purchase, Dragon Ball Chapter 1, graded 9.2, the highest known copy in existence with a population of 1. And this thing reportedly cost him a wild $550,000. First appearance of Goku and Bulma, one of the most iconic openings in manga history, and somehow Logan managed to turn it from a collector's dream into another internet crime scene overnight.
It's a Dragon Ball 9.2 high.
But what made people even more suspicious was not just the purchase itself, it was the way he talked about it. The sound sounded so polished, so stiff, and so collector bro encyclopedia that people started saying it felt like Logan had copied the whole thing from an AI prompt. And that only made the fraud accusations louder because instead of sounding like a real fan geeking out, he sounded like somebody reading bullet points from a sales pitch. That is where IShowSpeed came in and hit him with, "You don't even know shit about One Piece." And that post went crazy for a reason, because to a lot of anime fans, Logan was not coming across like somebody who grew up loving this stuff. He looked like somebody who saw manga becoming the next big collectible lane and decided to park a money truck right in the middle of it.
And then Logan kept posting, kept uploading videos, and kept acting like the manga and anime world had rolled out the red carpet for him. But the truth is, a lot of fans were not buying it. They saw the same pattern again. Rare item, huge price tag, millions of eyeballs, and suddenly everyone is supposed to treat him like some deep-cut collector instead of a businessman chasing another bag. That is the real issue here. Once you start treating One Piece, Dragon Ball, and Pokemon like stocks instead of stories people actually care about, fans are going to smell the hustle. Because collecting is one thing, but walking into a culture, flexing the most expensive pieces and acting like the king of the scene, that just makes you look like a tourist with a calculator. And that is why so many people are side-eyeing Logan right now. Fans do not think he's in it because he loves the characters, the story, the emotional moments, or the world that people have been following for years. They think he's in it because rare manga is expensive, the market is loud, and he knows exactly what happens when he flashes a high-priced collectible in front of tens of millions of followers. To a lot of people, it looks like the same hustle in a different outfit. Buy the rarest item, make a huge spectacle out of it, let the internet argue for free promo, and then maybe flip it later when the price gets even crazier. And when you're dealing with something like One Piece, that rubs fans the wrong way. Because this is not just paper with ink on it. This story means something to people. It's about dreams, loyalty, friendship, and chasing something bigger than yourself. So when somebody treats it like a stock portfolio, fans are going to call it out. And that is exactly why so many people accept IShowSpeed in the One Piece community. Speed may be chaotic, loud, and all over the place, but fans believe his love for the series is real. He's had a Luffy profile picture since the early days of his YouTube career, and that same energy is still attached to him now. He talks about One Piece like someone who actually cares, not like someone who just scanned the auction price and smelled money. On top of that, Speed has introduced a whole new crowd to the anime, especially younger viewers who might not have touched One Piece before. That matters, because fans can usually tell when somebody is putting people onto the story versus when somebody is just using the story to boost their own brand. And in Logan's case, people already had their doubts, especially after fans joked that he didn't even know how to say Luffy's name properly.
Luffy D Monkey, shout out Luffy.
Monkey D. Luffy.
What?
Monkey D. Luffy.
It's Monkey D. Luffy. Yeah.
So, of course, after getting dragged for allegedly LARPing as some deep manga expert, Logan leaned right into the chaos. He kept rage baiting on Twitter and posted himself dressed in a full Luffy costume with the caption, "After reading this, I'm not convinced the One Piece is real." And instead of calming people down, that only made the whole thing look even more unserious. Because to actual fans, that was not a joke landing cleanly. That was a millionaire tourist doing cosplay, while the community screamed, "Bro, you are not fooling anybody." Even the community note on Twitter made the whole thing look worse. It said, in the photo, Logan is holding the weekly Shonen Jump number 34, opened roughly halfway into the unrelated content and ads. One Piece Chapter 1 was the lead story, and starts near the front of the magazine after the table of contents. So basically, people were saying Logan was dressed like Luffy, flexing this holy grail manga item, but he wasn't even open to the actual One Piece chapter. The part that had fans clowning him non-stop, because if you are going to act like this is some deep emotional collector moment, at least know where the chapter starts. It made the whole thing feel less like a real fan celebrating history and more like somebody posing with a luxury item they barely understand. And for anime fans, that is a big deal, because One Piece Chapter 1 is not just some random page, it is the beginning of Luffy's entire journey. Now yes, some people definitely got rage baited by Logan's trolling, because that is exactly how he operates. He throws out something messy, watches everybody argue, then lets the buzz do the marketing for him. But plenty of people saw right through it. They believed the goal was not to join the manga community, but to create enough noise around these rare items so the value keeps climbing higher and higher. And that is why the backlash keeps getting louder. Fans feel like Logan does not have any real emotional connection to these pieces. The only attachment they think he has is the price tag. To him, it looks less like memories, art, or storytelling, and more like another high-end asset sitting in a vault waiting for the right moment to cash out.
Obviously, he's ever watched One Piece. I think self-admitted he hasn't. But what's the whole game plan here? To create a market for graded manga that he now owns, you know, probably two of the most premier like IP rarity mangas of. So like the same exact playbook that he did with Pokemon.
And honestly, I agree with the people calling this out. Logan looks like he is trying to force his way into a market that already has a crazy loyal fan base, then squeeze as much attention and money out of it as possible. It doesn't feel like he's joining the manga community because he respects the culture. It feels like he sees diehard fans, rare collectibles, and dollar signs all lined up in the same room.
Dude, I feel like I've been overly critical of Logan Paul, but I think it's reasonable. Like, I've interacted with him, whatever. Like, I don't disagree with everything that he does, but anything that's like money involved, these are that he does, I disagree with it. They're all like really like, just in my opinion, kind of like, ventures where people lose stuff and he gets, and it's not like some exchange where like, oh, here's like some cool merch. Like, it's just like something that he's like, it's taking from, and it just, I don't like it.
And the slick part is, Logan knows exactly how to make these communities react. He doesn't need everyone to love him, he just needs everyone talking about him. So when fans get mad, quote tweet him, clown him, and argue about whether he's a real fan or not, that still pushes his name, his videos, and his collectibles higher into the conversation. That has basically been the Logan Paul playbook for years. From his biggest controversies to his comeback era, he's always understood how to turn outrage into traffic. The more people hate watch, the more his brand stays alive. And with these manga purchases, it looks like the same game with a different skin. Walk into a passionate community, act clueless on purpose, trigger the fan base, then watch the buzz do the heavy lifting.
I do see some people saying things like, oh, he's LARPing. You're a LARPer. Yo, it's just eating some devil fruit shit, bro. I had to sail the Grand Line real quick. Yeah. Turns out my outfit was back at the beginning of the Grand Line. Yeah. Hey, Monkey D. Luffy.
That is why people compare this type of energy to creators like Jack Doherty. It is that same messy internet hustle where negativity is not a problem, it is the product. Logan does not look embarrassed by the backlash at all. He looks like he is farming it. At this point, Logan is just throwing out lines that barely make sense, and that is why people are cooking him so hard. I can honestly say I do not personally lose sleep over what Logan Paul is doing. If he wants to spend crazy money on rare chapters and troll the internet, that is his business. But I also understand why fans are annoyed because it looks like he is treating a culture people love like a side hustle with a price tag attached. And that is where the whole thing gets messy. Some people see Logan as just another collector with deep pockets, but others see him as a clout merchant walking into anime spaces acting like he belongs and using the backlash as free promo. That is why this drama keeps moving, because even the people who do not care still end up talking about it. Before we wrap this up, I want to hear what you think. Is Logan Paul just collecting rare manga like anybody else with money? Or is he trying to slide into the anime world, stir up drama, and turn fan outrage into profit? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I know people are split on this one. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment because it really helps push the channel. I appreciate you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.